My name is Maria Breaux. I'm the writer-director of Mother Country, a feature film that was shot in late May and early June to mid-June 2010. We had a crew of 7 people and we picked up a production assistant along the way. And we started in Austin, Texas and made our way through Albuquerque, New Mexico, Arizona we filmed in, ended up not using the footage. El Paso before we went to Albuquerque, and ended up in Los Angeles, and ended up shooting around 21 days on the Canon 5D Mark II camera. It was a very difficult process. We didn't have any breaks, and we had a script. We ended up improvising a lot. Thomas Galasso was the main actor who carried the film. We used local actors along the way, and then when we got to LA, there were Cindy Pickett and Taya Gill, Ernest Waddell, Catherine Celio. In Austin, we had Nove 27, the hip-hop artist. We had Cameron, Devin McKnight. We had Tiffany Richardson. We had Kira Hogan and a host of others. It was really, really great. And now we are submitting to film festivals, which has been frustrating because we haven't gotten into any of the ones that we want to get into. And I have my theories around that because I think it's a great movie. We got into one black film festival, which we didn't actually screen in because our final cut wasn't ready in time, which is ironic that we got into a black film festival, even though the topic isn't necessarily primarily black. It does deal with a black experience, but I was trying to break out of the usual mold of the race film and do something that was a lot more universal and not just limited to someone's skin tone or even socioeconomic status, but more a story of getting out of one's environment and what might happen if one day you just got up and started walking and left. So we have a sales agent now. We'll see where that heads and where that leads us. But it was a great experience. I learned a whole lot. I met a bunch of amazing people, worked with some great people. And that was the process for Mother Country. What it's like being a queer, lesbian, of color filmmaker. I think I hit every category. And I could answer that in any number of ways. There are tons of answers to that question, but I have a couple of things I wanted to talk about. One, it's amazing. I love it. I love San Francisco. I love my community. I love how closely people work together and how supportive they are of each other. I love the Queer Woman of Color Film Festival. I love the actors. I love people in front of the camera, behind the camera. So this is a great city to be in if you are a queer woman filmmaker of color. All of those adjectives. The downside to being in San Francisco is it tends to sometimes be a little too PC for my tastes. That there is an inherent guilt you feel when you are trying to break away and do something that may be considered a little bit more mainstream by San Francisco standards, but they're the freedoms that are enjoyed by white filmmakers. They can kind of do whatever they want, and if you think of white actors, they have played Chinese people, black people, Latino people. They can kind of do whatever they want, with criticism, of course, but they continue to do it, and they will continue to do it. And I would also like that same freedom. I want to be able to do whatever subject matter with whatever actors that I want. I would love to do romantic comedies, something that's extremely violent, something that's not extremely violent, and not have to think about my choices and just have the freedom of being an unconstrained filmmaker.